Hi and welcome to the very first weekly energy forecast by myself, Rachel Thompson-Phillips. This is the energy forecast for January the 10th through to January the 16th of 2022. So before I begin, I hope that every single person had an amazing Christmas and a fabulous new year. And this week's energy forecast overall theme is about continue to go deeper. So let's go in and explore the messages in the Oracle cards. Monday and Tuesday is the card of courage. Wednesday through to Friday is the card of rise above, and the weekend's message is energy. So with the beginning of the week being the courage card, I love how this card is coming through as really giving you the indication that your soul is encouraging you to want to go deeper, to explore in that Pandora's box where you put away everything. Sometimes we consider it our shadow self. It's about looking at, for me, I see it as like this recalibration period that we are not quite through at this point. If you had listened to a lot of my weekly energy forecast for the end of 2021, you would have heard me continue to express about the desire to unlock anything that is within you that has held you hostage of any shape or form, whether it is fear, whether it is trauma, whether it is pain. Whatever it is that you have buried deep, your soul is bringing it up to the surface, and it can come in lots of different ways and shapes or forms. It could be the continuation of something, an attitude, a friendship, a pattern, a behavior, something of that form, a person, a situation that you find continues to bring more pain than joy, or is a constant trigger for you. These are the types of things that your soul is encouraging you and is bringing into the forefront for you to make that conscious decision around releasing it, surrendering it, choosing to either keep that in your world and make some tweaks and modifications, or simply make that clean cut of that's it, there's a fine line, I'm done, I'm dusted, and looking at alternatives. So that may mean that you're in this period where you're looking at things from the past, but you're also considering, what does my future look like? And so we feel like we're in this period of no man's land, and that's where the courage card is coming up. Have the courage to continue along your journey of continuing to go deeper into exploring what your soul is wanting to bring to the surface for you, so that you can clear and recalibrate that for the Chinese New Year, which is on February the 1st, where we get the changeover of the Chinese animal symbol. Now, this coming Chinese New Year, we move into the year of the tiger. So in order to be able to move forward with so much courage, we need to be able to create that available space. And you'll hear me continue saying this throughout the coming month, because there is such an urgency of creating this. So you may feel that you are maybe going through a period where you feel lonely, you may feel lost, and this is where the midweek card of rise above is to rise above that temptation to go back to the old, because you know that it has now become outdated. You've tried to amend things, you've tried to do lots of different things to be able to the word that's coming to mind is brush over. You've tried to brush over the surface, and yet deeper underneath the surface, you know at a soul level that there are certain things that you are being supported towards letting go, and yet that human part within your own self wants to hold on because it's afraid. And this is where rising above card is so important in the process of continuing to go deep. Try not to, or even if you do happen to catch yourself grappling to the old because it's familiar, and you know that because you're in that interim where you're not sure what your present and your future looks like, because as I mentioned, feeling lost, feeling is if the future looks a little bit murky, as if you sort of have a bit of an idea of where you want to go, but there's no clarity around it. And it's so easy, the temptation to run back to the old is in that familiar phase. And this is the important process when we're going through so much deep transformative time, because this is the moment where we need to be able to bring in so much trusting that your soul is supporting you, trusting you that you're knowing to let go of something, and knowing that, trusting that the right thing will come forward. And this is where it's really important to be able to ask yourself empowering questions like, if this is what I'm choosing to let go of, where do I need to be able to focus my attention? What can I do to best support myself at this time? How can I speed up this process? Because the transformation process doesn't always need to be very, very difficult. It's only usually our resistance that makes that transformation process more challenging than it's needed to. And so therefore, when you ask yourself empowering questions, like say, for example, you're wanting to let go of a habit that you know that is not beneficial for you, but it's like a comfort thing that you keep doing. So say that your soul is wanting you to let go of that, then you can choose to support yourself and come into that empowered stance and be able to go, I know this is exactly what my soul is encouraging me to do. Please show me or shine the light on where I can focus my energy. Please shine the light on how I can replace that person, place, attitude, behavior with something that is more conducive to the growth that my soul is encouraging me to do at this time and point. And then be open to the suggestions that come to you in lots of different shapes and forms. And the important thing is remembering to look for those repetitive signs, because those repetitive signs are the messages, the answers and the guidance and the wisdom that you have been seeking is coming to you. Then it's a matter of then looking at, exploring what are the options that are available to me right at this point. Now, because we're in such a deep process of going deep within ourselves, unlocking all of those past aspects of self, there will be a time where you may feel a little bit disconnected from people, and that is okay. That is also part of the process. But it doesn't mean that you're disconnected from source, and that's something I really want to make very clear. You're going to be so connected to soul and so connected to the universe that you are going to have the most trusted guides available to you, share so much wisdom and insight on being able to help you through this process. So please remember to ask yourself empowering questions, because that will be the greatest way to support yourself and be reminded of just how freaking powerful you are. Now, this leads us through to the weekend's card message, which is the energy. As you know, that human aspect, we're 50% soul, 50% human, so that 50% of that human aspect, when it feels that it is not connected, or it feels that it may not have 100% clarity, can exacerbate the situation and put things on a repetitive cycle and perpetuate the situation more and more times over. And that's where the empowering question comes in. So therefore it consumes all of your energy and it continues to spiral you downwards. And even though we're going deeper into connecting to these parts within ourselves, we're not wanting to spiral downwards into negative patterns and behaviors and attitudes, because that underneath loops back to the very thing that you're wanting to let go of. But it can also be this grateful insight that shares with you another pattern or another cycle that you may not have been aware of. So your energy is about not focusing on the disconnection or the lack of clarity, because that will come, because that's futuristic. At this present time, in the now, your soul is wanting you to go within. And if you bring your energy from looking and grabbing into the future, and draw that back into channeling it into going deeper and unlocking those doors and accessing that information, connecting in and aligning with what it is that you deeply desire to completely surrender and let go. You're going to have, as I mentioned, a recalibration period where it reboots your energy. And it's important to also understand what are some of the things that you can instinctually do that elevates your energy. When we're going through a lot of transformation period, our body can also feel very heavy and very stiff and very immobile. So a way in which to be able to shift your energy is through movement, and there is an abundance of choices, whether it's dancing, activity, exercise, swimming, whatever it is. Remember that there are go-to things that you can do that will naturally elevate your energy and bring that up, but also work as a way to discharge any negative energy that you may be feeling into at this point. But it also works to diffuse away those negative thoughts that just keep looping around in circular motions and just keeping you stuck in an area that you don't want. The other thing that I now want to tap into around our energy is the most powerful thing about you. It gives so much insight into your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, whether something feels right or whether it feels out of alignment, or also on the opposite, where it does feel in alignment. So it's also really important over the weekend to be able to look at, as you're going deeper into this transformational period, to tune into your energy. If you find that you're doing a certain activity or you're with a certain person and your energy starts to become irritated or scattered, or if there's anything that is completely out of congruency, that gives you insight into what is not working for you. So your energy is this amazing barometer that is a gauge giving you indication of what is true for you and what you have outgrown, and therefore that gives you a direct link back into the things that you're going deeper into exploring around letting it go. Your energy is the most valuable thing you own. So rather than being, I want to use the word flippant with it, look at it as this amazing gauge to give you wisdom into your inside world. Remember, intuition is about inner tuition, your inner soul tutoring you back to your truth. And this is where intuition and our energy is this beautiful gauge that gives us intuitive insight around everything that's going on. So tune into it. I know for my own self, that has been something that I have been working really closely over the Christmas period, tuning into my energy. And even though we have moved into 2022, a lot of the times we still peruse over the year before to be able to gain we'll always do this revision over each year to look at what things made you happy, what things didn't, what things you want to claim back, what are some of the things you want to let go of, what are things that you want to work on. And we still are in that perusal phase of perusing over 2021 while wanting to go gung-ho into 2022. Now, the thing that I do want to remind us is that this is the time to, over the next couple of weeks, to just be more gentle with yourself. If you're not feeling gung-ho just yet, that's okay. Be okay with that. This is where claiming your power and just going, I'm going to feel into what feels right for me. I'm going through a deep transformational period. I'm reconnecting with some really deep truths within my own self, or so much so let me correct that, reconnecting with some untruths that you are working on clearing out at this time. You're recalibrating yourself into a whole new frequency, which involves doing so much inner work. So if you're not feeling that full gusto of, yeah, I'm in 2022 yet and I'm ready to go, that is okay. Take your time. Remember, time is linear, and what works for one person doesn't work for the other. And just because you may not be feeling the vibe of rushing into 2022 just yet doesn't mean that you're not going to get there. Be patient with yourself. Let your energy guide you. And if you are finding that there are disruptions in your energy, which could come through thoughts, actions, behavior, people, situations, past pains and traumas, and when you do peruse over 2021, if you have little intuitive insights that lead you back to a particular time over the 2021 period, tune into looking at where was your energy at? Were you feeling compelled to do something and you resisted that intuitive guidance? Did you feel that you were that you needed to do something, or you should do something, but you felt completely misaligned with that, yet you went through with it and didn't trust your own gut instincts and your own intuition? These are also a deliverance of being able to give you insight into some very, very powerful shifts that are available to you. So your energy is this amazing barometer to guide you back to your truth and let you know what is aligned with you, because your energy will just naturally just be buzzing and electrified when it's aligned with you. And that doesn't mean that, you know, there's not elements of being scared, because that component is also relevant as well. But if you find that all of a sudden your energy feels sluggish, you feel that you tap into energy of anger, really low vibing energy of anger, guilt, shame, blame, these are all indicators, like red lights going off saying, hey, something is not right. Dig deeper. So that's why this week we've been really encouraged to go in and still do that deeper work for that exploration, to just be continually clearing out, leading us towards the Chinese New Year changeover of 2022, which I believe is also, I believe that it is on February the 1st. And also, this is also working towards the full moon, which will be next week, which we'll go in and talk more of in next week's energy forecast. But you're also in this purging place of going through and decluttering and removing things within your field that is only holding you back and dragging you down into places, thought patterns, and into a version of self that you have worked way too hard to allow this to happen. So this week has got so much to unfold within you. Remember, always be patient within your own self. And I do want to share one little tip of things that I like to do throughout any deep transformational work, is that remember that you are always deeply connected with your cosmic team. If you're not sure what a cosmic team is, your cosmic team consists of your soul, yourself, and the universe. And together, the three unite when working together. And it's always a wonderful way in which to be able to invite the universe and your soul to work with you. And this is one exercise that I always love to do when I'm doing deep inner work. Every time I go to sleep, I ask the universe and my soul and any other person or being that is involved in my journey through this lifetime, I ask them to come in and support me, and to be able to do any healing that I that is conducive to my growth and to accelerate that process while I'm in my sleep process, so that we let go of that resistance. We are completely open and available and receptive to receive, and know that there are beings that have an infinite wealth of wisdom and have an understanding of your soul plan, are all there ready and waiting for you to give them that green light for them to be able to come in and work with you. So whenever I'm doing this soul work, I always invite them to come in and do a healing while I'm sleeping. And I always find that when I wake up in the morning, that I feel fresh, I feel lighter, and some of the things that I had been working on or may have felt a little bit feeling like they weren't moving along as fast as what I want, I've given that invitation for it to be speeded up. And I may find that all of a sudden something that I was thinking about working on yesterday is no longer relevant today, because there's almost this door that's been closed on it, and given that closure around that, simply because you've given the invitation for your cosmic team to come in and work with you. So always remember that you are part of the cosmic team, and you don't always need to do everything on your own. There is this, sometimes I always feel like I get stuck for words, and when it comes to describing the universe, for me, the word infinite doesn't even feel like it's big enough. There is a huge abundance of support available to you if you only give yourself permission to get out of the way and allow your cosmic team to come in and support you like they are every step of the way. They're helping you. So I hope that shares a little bit of information and intuition around how to be able to receive the support, but also how to work with this energy, and know that you're exactly where you need to be right at the moment. So try not to push the process, but also become very aware if you are resisting the process. And again, remember to go in and ask for that additional support on how can you shift through whatever it is that you're working on at this time. And one of the things that I always like to always ask is this my truth? As I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper into the work that I'm doing, I'm always asking myself, is this my truth for me? Because every time we're working on doing that deeper inner work, we're always working on going into different levels, and then the layers within those levels, and at that layer and level, that's your truth. And then a new level and layer becomes unlocked, and therefore sometimes it can reveal a shift within that truth. And so I always am asking myself, is this my core soul truth, so that I know that I'm always coming to that end point where I know there's no more discovery that and exploring that is required to do, because I've reached that deep soul core truth that has now been unlocked within my own self, that I can harness and embrace and step into that place of embodiment from when you've done that radiant soul inner work. So I wish you all an amazing start to 2022 and an incredibly powerful week ahead. Much love to you all. Take care. And if you would love to receive any additional healing work to be able to help accelerate that process, please feel free. You'll find a link below for my energy clearing sessions, which has had massive reviews and massive results. If that's something that you would like assistance and help and support with, feel free to click the link below and find out how to be able to book in a session with me. Otherwise, have an amazing week. Take care, look after yourself, and know that you are always abundantly supported and supplied for. See ya.